wheelchair on the road went unnoticed.
Did you see her?
No.
There's no question that you hit her.
We collided, yes.
No, you hit her.
But the judge can grab her attention.
Your Honor, she should not have even been driving. She had no insurance.
That's interesting.
That's not true.
Hey!
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Jessica Edwards is suing motorist Jessica Jacobson for hitting her while she was crossing the road in her wheelchair.
Order. All rise. It's case number 20 on the calendar in the matter of Edwards versus Jacobson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Your party's been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Edwards, Miss Jacobson hit you when you were riding in your mobility scooter as you were crossing the street.
Correct.
There's no question that you hit her. Is that correct?
Yes, we collided, Your Honor. Yes.
What?
We collided, yes.
No, you hit her.
Matter of
And
opinion.
the issue is whether or not Miss Jacobson was negligent and is responsible for whatever injuries you had, which was actually the loss of your... You weren't, fortunately, severely injured.
No, I had road rash on left leg, losing 2 layers of skin.
But fortunately, you weren't seriously injured.
No.
Okay. I'm looking at that diagram, and in between the 2 yellow lines, is that a turn lane?
It's both for pulling off in case you break down and a turn lane.
But it's not a driving lane.
No.
And you were in that turning lane, Miss Jacobson, because you were turning into that driveway.
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
That's where you live.
No, I lived behind it.
Okay, you were visiting someone there?
No, I was turning around to my apartment because I'd forgotten something I had to get back.
Okay, so you were going to make a U-turn.
No, not a U-turn. I was going to go in the driveway, come back out, and then I didn't feel safe making a U-turn on that thoroughfare.
Okay, you weren't going in. You had forgotten something, so you were going home.
Yes, which is westbound of that traffic fire.
It's okay. Tell me what you forgot at home.
Well, I left an associate at my door, and I realized I had an appointment that he might need the materials needed to work on a project in my garage. So I went back because I saw somebody pulling in as I left my apartment, which is west of those.
So you realized that you had to get home, and it was sort of an emergency that you had to get home.
Not at all, no.
Okay. I want you to go over to that because it's easier for you than it is for Miss Edwards to maneuver which driveway so that we're clear.
This is the 820 apartment complex?
That's Miss Edwards' apartment complex.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
And you were going home.
Correct.
Yes. And
Where had...
Where'd I come from?
No.
Oh.
I know where you were coming from, and I know that you were either going to go into the complex and make a left-hand turn into the complex and go around and come out, or if there was no traffic coming from the other side, you were going to make a U-turn. There's no question in my mind that those were the 2 options. I don't know which one it was because I'm not in your mind. If it were me, if there was nobody coming from the other way, and if my car could clear it, I would have made the U-turn, right? Right. Now, if there were cars coming from the other way, I would wait and turn in and do it properly.
May I give
Maybe.
you an area?
No,
No?
I don't
Okay.
want you to give me anything.
Okay.
Now, you're in your mobility scooter, and
Yes.
I assume, Miss Edwards, where there is a break. Bird, would you go over to that drawing? Do you see where there is a break in the bottom that looks as if it's a path? Yes. Is that where you entered the
Yes.
street? So you entered there because there's a cut in the driveway?
It's a driveway that I came out of.
Just a second. It's a driveway.
Correct.
When you say it's a driveway, are there houses there?
From an apartment complex, curb in front of the bus stop, so to get out, you have to go down the sidewalk to the driveway.
It's not designed to be handicap accessible. That's not why it's there. It's a driveway. Can cars go in there?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a driveway. It's not designed for you.
Correct.
And you were actually traveling diagonally in order to get into your driveway.
There's about a 5-degree diagonal.
Whatever it is, this is your diagram.
Yes.
You were traveling at a diagonal, which means you were going across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes of traffic in a diagonal.
Yes. The nearest crosswalk is more than a half-mile down the street.
Where were you coming from, Miss Edwards?
I had gotten groceries at the grocery store and had just gotten off the bus at where that light blue square is down at the bottom.
Okay, now, you're traveling and you know that you are not Thank you, Bert. You know that you're not at a legitimate crosswalk.
Correct.
So you have to exercise far more care since you're not.
And I did.
Well, evidently not. But let's see whether you did or whether you didn't. So you're traveling diagonally. You can go back. When, for the first time, Miss Edwards, did you see the defendant's car?
I never saw of the driveway.
Of the driveway. And she's coming from your left, correct?
Correct.
Where was Miss Jacobson, where was the damage to your car?
What little there was may have been to the front bumper of the passenger side. I never looked to ascertain that. But there's one discrepancy, Your Honor. May I point it out?
There's what?
A discrepancy with her drawing?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The aerial is it's non-biased. It will.
Hold on just a second.
Okay, here we've got, this is a bus terminal stop where there's people that, there's no driveway here. The driveway's another 45 feet probably west of this. She's coming from out of Parkview. If she came out of this bus terminal or bus stop where they let her off, then she did come across the 2 lanes of traffic.
That's what
At a diagonal, but
just
we merged at a V point.
Just a second.
So
step back.
Okay.
Step back.
Okay,
right there. See, sometimes you really have to keep quiet.
I'm sorry, I need to go this way.
Where you are, as you were.
Okay. There's a distance issue, though.
Miss Jacobson, see, sometimes you just have to listen and say, where is this fact finder? Because I'm the fact finder going. You just described to me what Miss Edwards did, that she got out of the bus and she was going across 3 lanes of traffic. Well, that would presuppose that you saw her. Well, then you can't tell me what she did.
No.
I know what she said. I have ears. You don't have to repeat to me what she said. I'm of sound mind. That's why they still keep me here.
But there's no no driveway there. It's only a sidewalk.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can't tell me what you think happened unless you saw her.
Right, exactly.
Did you see her?
Not at all. Not until she was right in front of the headlight of my passenger vehicle.
Yeah. So you have 2 defenses to this. You have the defense that the scooter shouldn't have been there.
Yes.
And your second defense is that your car is too high, so you didn't see her.
Yeah.
Do you have another defense?
I do, Your Honor.
What's the other defense?
Well, like I'm saying, there's a distance issue with where she's got this diagram. First of all, the
Just
bus
a second.
terminal.
Listen to me.
Okay.
She has a certain amount of care that she has to exercise.
Exactly.
You, who are driving a vehicle, have to look where they're going.
Yes.
And if I saw someone in a wheelchair crossing the street, if I was paying attention to what I was doing, I wouldn't hit them with the front bumper of my car if I was paying attention. She didn't scoot into the front end of your bumper.
That's not what happened. What I was trying to get at is that we merged at a V point where the collision was.
That's impossible. It's impossible that you merged at a V point. If you merged at a V point, you would have to be coming from the... No, you weren't going in the same direction.
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. If you merge at a V point, Miss Jacobson, you would have to be coming from the lower right-hand corner of that picture if you merge at a V point. If you're going in the same direction because she's turning and you are, you're not at a V point. Either she hit you on the side of your car or you hit her with the front of your car. And you hit her with the front of your car.
No, I did not.
Your Honor, she should not have even been driving. She had no insurance.
Just a second. That's interesting.
That's not true.
Hey! Were you driving your car without insurance?
No, ma'am, I was not. Not ever once.
Just a second. Interesting. I'm going to take a break. You go back and get me proof that on the date of this incident, which was
March
12th, you had insurance on your car. I'll wait here. Go.
Good luck. I might have it. I might not. I'll be right
No,
back.
just a second. If you don't have it,
I know.
then you didn't have it.
I have it.
If you can't produce it for me in 5 minutes, that means that you don't have insurance. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah.
Don't waste my time. Because that really will irritate me if you waste my time.
I understand.
Did you have a paid-up policy of liability insurance on your car on March 12th?
Without any uncertainty whatsoever.
Police report.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you telling me that the police department has it in for you for some reason, Ms. Jacobson?
Yeah.
Are you telling me the entire police department has
Not
it
the
in for some
entire.
old lady? And the district attorney?
No.
Has it in for you
No, I have a detective.
for some unknown reason?
And later today,
He gave you back $5,000. So far, you're $500 ahead of the game, okay? Do you understand where I'm going?
No.
You don't?
No, because I paid him much more than that.
The smile that you have on your face suggests to me that you know exactly where I'm going.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Jessica Edwards says motorist Jessica Jacobson ran into her while she was crossing the road in her wheelchair.
Okay, Miss Jacobson, I'd like to see what you have. Okay, this says that the effective date of this policy when it was issued was September 16th, 2018, and it's good until March 16th, 2019. So this is an insurance identification card, which means that if Miss Jacobson paid her insurance premiums, you say she has no insurance.
I have a copy of the police report.
You had no insurance.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. That police report is nullified because I have insurance that doesn't mention the police officer that hit me 2 months prior to that either. My insurance company was not correct in their findings. When they reported that day, it was not. I have a $542
Just a second.
check.
This is the narrative. Unified Police Department. It says Jessica Jacobson was found to be the driver of the vehicle without insurance. I called Insurite and confirmed that there was no insurance. Jessica said that there was no insurance after she made a few calls. Vehicle 1 was taxed and impounded for no insurance. Was your car impounded? Was your car impounded?
Yes, it was, but I never made one call.
Just a second.
I never agreed to that.
The question is, was your car impounded?
Yes, wrongfully. It's still sitting there waiting for litigation against the Salt Lake Unified Police Department.
When did you get your car out of impound?
I have not yet. Like I said, it's still sitting there. That's part of the problems I've had because the Salt Lake Unified Police Department...
You're not supposed to be driving.
You're
not supposed to be
Your Honor,
driving.
I was completely insured at that moment in time, and I'm not going to go on anything less. That is the absolute fact and correct.
No. This is a business record.
It's not a business record.
No, hey, listen to me. Do you have a lot to do with courts?
No, but I know what I've been through.
Just a second. You have a lot to do with courts. I know that you have troubles. Believe me, I've been in this business a very long time, so I know that you have troubles. Because I know that you have troubles. Just because you have an insurance card that says that you had an effective policy on a certain date, if you don't pay the premiums on that policy, that means that the policy lapses, expired. The police officer, and this is a business record, it comes in, it's not hearsay, it comes under a business record rule, says that you acknowledged to the police officer at the scene that you had no insurance. In addition, this happened March 12th. We're now in May. If you had insurance, you would have gotten your car back. There was probably more to it, a lot more.
A lot more.
A lot more that I don't have to get into right now. Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
You can prove to me that you paid him $4,500.
No, I can show you that I paid him the $10,000.
No, I don't care about the receipt that you are going to show me. That doesn't fly with me. Do you understand?
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Jessica Edwards says motorist Jessica Jacobson ran into her while she was crossing the road in her wheelchair.
Now, there's a reason that for the last 3 months you don't have your car if you had insurance and you had no other troubles. So you weren't supposed to be behind the wheel of a car.
That's not true. That's not true whatsoever.
My God.
I promise you that is not true. I can show you, if you want to go in and call a West Jordan agent with Geico, he'll tell you I haven't made payments every month, and there's also a huge escalation in payments. After
You mean the police department? Are you telling me that the police department has it in for you for some reason, Ms. Jacobson?
Their officer hit me.
Are you telling me the entire police department has it in for some old lady? Is that what you're saying to me?
Not the entire officer hit me on January 10th at noon, and he did not claim it, and he did not own it, and he didn't report it to police.
All I'm asking you is, now is what you're saying to me that the entire police department and the district attorney has it in for you
I have a detective.
for some unknown reason.
I have a detective that runs me on errands all week.
We both know that you have a problem.
No, we don't.
Yeah, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Okay, well,
goodbye.
Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. May step out.
She did hit me.
Stayed with me when I went across the street to park and watched the whole incident take place.
My wheelchair spun
And then the paramedics and others came with her.
and threw me into the lane she had been driving from.
Yes, one was cited to me for non-insurance, and that's what we're fighting in court right now.
And so I was straddling the median and her lane.
I don't know. I'm not ready to be done with it, but I don't think it was a fair hearing.
I inched across to get out of the lane so I wouldn't be a worse case scenario.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Elliott versus Martin. Step forward.
Gregory Alex Elliott is suing Adolfo Rudy Martin for defrauding him regarding luxury suites at a UFC fight.
Let me see if I understand the basic facts. Mr. Elliott, you purchased suites of rooms for a sporting event from Mr. Martin, who does that as a business. How much did you pay him for this block of space at a sporting event?
$13,500.
And you have a check for that.
I don't have a check, but I have invoices to show that I paid him, and I got receipts from it as well.
How did you pay him?
I paid him through PayPal and through a separate transaction with cash of $6,000.
That doesn't fly with me. How much did you pay him that you can prove to me that you paid him by PayPal?
So through PayPal,
$1,500 is what you can prove to me that you paid him.
yes, and I could also prove that I gave him $6,000 because he gave me a receipt for it as well.
I don't care about the $6,000. Let's understand this.
Okay.
You can prove to me that you paid him $4,500.
No, I can show you that I paid him the $10,000.
No, I don't care about the receipt that you are going to show me. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, Mr. Martin gave you back how much money?
$5,000.
Turns out that the suites that he gave you were bogus. So your people that you sold space to so they could go into the suites, they couldn't use the suites because...
He never had access to them in the first place.
Right. And he says he got scammed too. So you say you really out much more money because you sold these suites to people and you had to make good on what you sold them because they couldn't go. How many people did you sell the suites to?
I sold one.
One. To whom?
His name was Daniel, a friend of Rudy's.
For how much?
$2,500.
And Daniel couldn't go.
I did pay him back $2,500.
Do you have proof of that?
The proof?
No, so far you're ahead of the game. All you can prove to me is that you gave him $4,500 through PayPal. He gave you back, according to you, $5,000. So far you're $500 ahead of the game, which is no lawsuit to me. Okay? Do you understand where I'm going?
No.
You don't.
No, because I paid him much more than that.
The smile that you have on your face suggests to me that you know exactly where I'm going. Now, so far, the only thing that I know or that you can prove to me is that you paid him $4,500 for suites that you couldn't use. You don't have any papers in front of you, sir, which suggests to me that you have no evidence.
No.
So the only evidence that he has that he can establish is that he gave you $4,500 through PayPal.
Correct.
And he wants me to believe that he gave you the rest in cash, for which you gave him a receipt, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're done. Where do you come from?
Boise, Idaho.
Okay. Maybe some small claim judge in Boise, Idaho will believe your shtick. I do not. So this is what I'm going to do for you. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to dismiss your case without prejudice, so you can go back to small claims court in Boise, and maybe a judge in Boise will believe you. I don't. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next
Argument was it was an investment, and investments aren't guaranteed.
I was scammed out of $13,500.
I was also scammed out of money as well,
The CenturyLink suite director emailed me and said they never sold suites to Rudy Martin.
about $8,000.
If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Where's her dog? Where's her dog?
A pet held hostage.
If she could settle what she owed me, she could have her dog.
Well, I want to know where her dog is.
Can the owner come to the rescue?
She know exactly where the dog is at.
It's not there. That's a lie. His witness that's sitting down went with us to go get the dog.
His witness can't even find the knees for his pants.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
18-year-old Beatrice Barkin is suing her ex-boyfriend's brother, Avis Wright, for stealing her dog.
Order. All rise. It's case number 80 on the calendar, the matter Barkin versus Wright.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks have a...
Live with.
Currently, I got a little situation going on. I live in North Dakota, but I'm currently in Minnesota taking care of some personal problems. So I got a house in North Dakota. I live with my wife in North Dakota.
I don't hear a word you said. Currently, you have a situation. Where do you live?
Where do I live? I said I live in North Dakota, but I'm currently in Minnesota taking care of some personal situation.
Where do you work?
I work for MnDOT in Minnesota doing construction.
How many days a week do you work there doing construction?
It depends on what work we got available.
Where's her
sometimes
dog?
I work.
Where's her dog?
Her dog is over North Minneapolis.
Is where?
Is in North Minneapolis.
What's the address? What's the address where the dog is?
Is James Avenue.
You do want to get home, don't you?
That don't matter to me.
You want to stay in Los Angeles?
I mean, you don't even know. You don't know what's going on. So
let me tell you what's going on. What's going on is Miss Barkin says she gave you her dog to train.
That's what she
said. Now,
said.
with your current situation, from wherever you are to wherever you are, you're not in any place where you have a dog.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly.
So I want to know where her dog is.
Her dog is where I just told you is at.
With whom?
To the place that I reside at. That's where it's at for right now. I live in Minneapolis, man. There's a lot of things going on that
I don't care about your life.
I don't know how to answer
now.
your question. I am still taking care of the dog.
Well, you're not taking care of the dog. You're between two different states. How could you be taking care of the dog? You travel with the dog?
I just told you I'm in Minnesota currently now, but my address, you asked me where do I live. My home is in North Dakota, but I'm on probation. I'm on probation in Minnesota.
I only want to know
where
you
asked me a question, I will have to explain that question to you.
No, I don't want you to explain.
I don't know what answer you're looking for.
I just want you to tell me where the dog is.
And I just did.
Good. Now, today, as we're standing here, who's watching the dog?
My sister is.
And what's your sister's name?
What's the relevance of all of that?
I want to know what your sister's name is.
I don't want to disclose that information because she don't have nothing to do with this dog party. If she could settle what she owed me, she could have her dog. That person don't have nothing to do with it. This lady have not paid nothing. I got evidence to prove everything she talking about is a lie. I just want to go through the evidence and you can face that. But however, me giving somebody else's name, I'm not going to do that.
Mr. Wright, if you had a counterclaim...
I don't want a counterclaim. She going to lose her case regardless because she owed me. I don't owe her nothing. I don't owe her nothing, period.
Let me explain something to you. You got a dog, probably, and you had no right to get a dog because you didn't know how to take care of it. Do you understand?
Know where the dog to stay. The dog stayed with me from the day she bought the dog and been in my house the whole time.
Shut up.
Do us both a favor. Just listen, okay? All right.
You probably had no business getting a dog because it doesn't sound to me as if you chose a very, very together person to train your dog. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. He works construction 5 days a week.
That's what a lie.
Hey, don't speak to me.
I'm sorry, but...
Don't speak to me.
Okay.
Don't speak to me. He says he works construction 5 days a week. Bird, would you take his phone away from him?
I was going to show you.
Take his phone away from him. Bird.
Nail your phone. There you go. Thanks.
You got the dog when?
March 31st.
From the beginning of April to today's date, how many days has the dog been with you?
From March 31st until May 2nd, when I gave him the dog was with me in the night. The dog only spent one night with him. The dog spent most of the nights with me, and the dog spent a night with his niece. And he got the dog from his niece's house when I was at work.
Do you know this address that he's talking about?
He's lying about that. He does not know. He has 2 blood sisters, and I know their names, and I know their address, and I know where they live. He's lying. He doesn't... I know his sister because why? His brother is my ex-boyfriend, so therefore... His brother...
Just a second. Different program.
Okay.
Right now, I don't know where the dog is. Neither do you. I don't know whether he has it, whether he sold it, whether he did something wrong with him. Okay, so it's a good thing that you didn't do that much bonding with the dog, it's not a dog that you had for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. I want you to show me a bill of sale from where you bought the dog.
Here you go. Do I bring it, sir?
What made you... This is nothing. What is this?
That's my receipt from the lady I bought it from.
It's not a receipt for anything. It's not signed by anybody.
It is a receipt. I have messages. I bought it from on Facebook.
Good. If you have messages, I'll take a look at Facebook messages.
She purchased the dog.
I purchased the dog. I bought the dog.
Don't speak to her, or I'm sending him back. And he makes you look very short.
I am short.
I want to see something that I believe. This is nonsense. It's not a bill of sale. It's not signed by anybody. You go into a store and you can get a receipt like this. It's a nothing.
Okay, but that's the point. I bought it off a Facebook app. I bought the dog from this lady named Shannon. I had to drive like 2 hours away from Minnesota to go get the dog.
So you had texts from this woman, Shannon, from where you bought the dog. Let me see them. This is nothing. It's zero.
These are text messages of when I still owed her $200, and there's a
May I see?
There's
May
a
I
money
see?
order
May I
right
see?
there.
May I see?
The dog was $350.
Shh. I see 150 sent by MoneyGram.
I sent.
Shh. I see $150 sent by MoneyGram to Shannon. I want you to point out. Yes. Okay. Right here on March 30th. Don't forget the $200 owed on the puppy tomorrow. I won't, trust me. I'm super excited. Got everything for my puppy. Got it. Now I want to see a picture of the puppy. What kind of dog was it?
It's a poodle mixed with a beagle.
Now I'm going to get back to you. He got the dog for some sort of training. He says you owe him for dog training. He did. And if you don't pay him for the dog training, you're not getting the dog back. He doesn't have a counterclaim. That's what the case is about. Now, which sister is taking care?
She's not my biological sister. She's a friend I've been knowing for over 20 years, so...
Well, because she knows your biological sisters. You have two quiet. So neither one of your sisters is watching the dog. Who's watching the dog? Listen, let me explain what it's going to cost you. Do you understand?
I'm listening to
I'm going to explain. You're supposed to get an appearance fee for coming on this show. Do you understand? You either get it or not. Your choice. Who is the dog staying with?
I have the dog over in North Minneapolis at the
I
place
can't
where...
understand you. You have the dog where?
I just told you the same thing I'm about to repeat, and you keep cutting me off. I said I have the dog over in Minneapolis where she don't try to go in the house and break in the house and take the dog multiple times while I had to hide it while she thought I was at work. She know exactly where the dog is at. The lady that the dog is at, I live in that house in Minneapolis, but I'm not going to give you that lady name. But she know where the dog is at.
Okay. Raise your hand if you tried to go and get the dog.
Both of them.
Raise your hand. Good. Okay, so you know where the dog is?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the dog,
you know what the dog is?
It's not there. It's not there.
Because when they went there, I had them get there. I already knew they was going to go do it.
That's a lie. And
so
plus,
I had to hide the dog.
His witness that's sitting down went with us to go get the dog.
His witness can't even find the knees for his pants. I am going to give you an order that you can bring to a marshal. The marshal will execute that order with you. What we're going to do with the defense until you get your dog back. Do you understand? Now, he can go back to Minneapolis. He can go wherever he wants to go. He can do that.
Yes,
but he is going without any money. And the only way he's going to get his money is if you get the dog. Do you understand? Perfect. Wait outside for the order. Thank you.
So it's just that simple.
Why is our excused? You may step out.
If she don't get my money, she's not gonna get the dog. She didn't get my money, so she's not getting the dog.
I needed my money because he's not gonna give my dog back.
From the day she bought the dog been with me. She came from buying the dog straight to me.
He only spent one night with my puppy.
She don't have no time for that dog.
He sold it. He sold it to a lady and he can't get it back.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lindsay Clark versus Gilliard. Step forward.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew, James Gilliard, for the value of a car and a loan for bail.
Miss Clark,
Yes,
the young woman is your niece. Is that your sister's daughter?
my sister's daughter, yes.
And the young man standing next to her is your nephew. That's also your sister's child. Your
Yes.
Same sister.
Yes.
And you are how old?
I'm 32 years old.
And you?
I'm 27 years old.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a program coordinator for a nonprofit.
And what do you do?
I was a substitute teacher. I have a degree in elementary education.
Miss Gilliard, you have children. How many?
I have 2 children.
How old are they?
They are 2 and 4.
And they are currently placed with your aunt.
That is correct.
How long have they been in placement with your aunt?
About a year.
You visit. Don't speak in.
Okay.
And they're placed by the courts.
That's correct.
This is what this case is about with regard to you. Your aunt says that there came a time, sometime last year, that she, who has custody of your 2 children, purchased a car for you. She purchased a car for you, she says, with the understanding that you would use that car to sort of get yourself back on track so that you could regain custody of your children. So far, does that sound right?
I don't think the children have anything to do with it. I know that she's seen me struggling, and she...
How would I know about your children if she didn't tell me about your children in her complaint?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I assume that you visit the children, or that you visit, does she take the children for you to see them someplace? Where do you see your children?
That doesn't have anything to do with a car.
Oh, this has everything to do with me.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew, James Gilliard, for the value of a car and a loan for bail.
Okay, she says that, which is probably true, having sat in the family court, that when children are removed, there is usually a plan for the biological parent to regain custody of their children. And usually, since in your case, that probably had something to do with drugs. Court said you have to have completed a drug program, you have to be tested for drugs periodically, you have to be working, and as part of that, that's your plan to get your kids back. And I'm actually 100% certain that that's what the plan was, for you to get your children back. Your aunt says that in order to help you with your plan, she purchased a car for you last year, and the agreement that she had with you was as long as you stayed clean, sober, and was working towards getting your kids back, that was the deal. That's why she did it. That's what she says. And considering that there is some objective data that supports that, Ms. Gilliard, A, that you're 32 years old, you have a job, there would be no reason for your children to be out of your custody, placed by the courts with a non-parent, and that you acknowledge in your answer that you had your aunt came to get the car. That all makes sense. Those are objective facts. So the story that I sort of put together from that makes sense. But I will allow you, if you like, to clarify anything that I got wrong.
Yeah. Sorry,
just clarify anything. Just clarify anything that you don't tell me the whole story.
The car was purchased off the basis of me keeping my job. She knew that I was walking to work, and she wanted to help me out. In Leavenworth, Kansas, they don't have any public transportation, and she knew I was walking 20 minutes.
Listen to me. Don't tell me what she knew, because in the law, you can't decide what's in the operation of someone else's mind. What they knew, what they thought, what they cared about, what was important to them, that all calls for the operation of the mind. I want you to tell me subjectively what fact that I just stated for you was incorrect.
And that the fact that she voluntarily said that she wanted to help me purchase a car.
And why would, now I can ask for the operation of your mind, because you're right here. I can say to you, here is somebody who is taking care of your 2 children, something that she didn't bargain for. I assume since she bought you to visit the children, or that you visit, does she take the children for you to see them someplace? Where do you see your children?
That doesn't have anything to do with a car.
Oh, this has everything to do with me. Do you live with your aunt?
No, I don't live with my aunt.
Where do you see your children?
I see them in Leavenworth, Kansas.
At her house?
No, I don't go to her house.
At whose house?
I have a home that I bring them to.
How often?
What does that have to do with a car? I don't feel comfortable answering that.
Well, that's sort of interesting. That would lead me to sort of a lot of very interesting questions. And that would lead me to a lot of very interesting questions of whether or not there's something going on here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your complaint says that the reason you bought a car for her is because it was court-ordered. I don't believe that I will ever see a court order directing someone to have a car.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew, James Gilliard, for the value of a car and a loan for bail.
Now, usually when you don't want to answer a question, it's
because kids don't have anything to do with a gift, a car that was purchased as a gift.
Yes, it does.
No,
well, it
doesn't.
Actually, it does, and it's getting more to do with it, because when the children are placed with you,
yes,
they live with you.
They do.
They do. Full time.
Yes.
All the time?
All the time.
All the time?
Yes.
Well, that's not what your niece says. She says she takes them to her house, where she has a home.
And she did at one time. She did.
At what time?
When they were having visitation that way. But now we just go down to the office, and that's where they visit.
Well, this is not going to go away.
That's all.
These questions are not going to go away. Was there a time when she was taking the children to her house?
Yes.
And was that permitted by the court?
Yes.
All right. And then something happened in order to make that supervised visitation.
Yes.
Just a minute. Listen, the two of you can decide that if you don't like these questions, if you don't like my questions, you can say, you know what, Judge, we're going to take my case back to wherever we came from in small claims court, because your complaint says that the reason you bought a car for her is because it was court ordered, that she have a job, that she have a car.
Exactly.
There's a second. Not exactly. Court never orders that you have an order directing someone to have a car, that you must have a car. The court will order that you have a job before you can get your children back.
But
so all of this is in the complaint.
Oh.
And pay careful attention, the two of you, so you can look at each other and decide what you want to do. I don't plan on getting off this tear until I find out what's going on. So if you're not happy with this, say, we're going back to small claims court. Thank you very much. Do you understand?
I hear
you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I don't see what kids have to do with this at all. It's about a car. It's about a car.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
This is very, very easy. Either you're going to answer my questions about your children, the car, where they are, how long they've been there, whether you are taking them to your house now or not. These are all things that I am going to find are important to this car issue. Why she bought you the car, why she came to take it away. And if you're not comfortable answering those questions, you can say goodbye and leave. That's what you're going to do. Say goodbye and leave. If you're comfortable answering the questions, and I'm going to keep answering until I feel as if I have a truthful answer. Neither may your brother want to answer questions, but they're going to be questions that are posed. So you want to talk to your brother for a minute?
No, I answer your questions.
Great. When were the children coming to your house? In what months and year?
I don't recall.
Okay, case is over. Case is dismissed without prejudice. Go back to where you came from. And I would suggest that social services go pay a home visit immediately.
Why is that excused when they step out?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Your dog got out.
A neighbor opens up after an attack.
I saw their dog run out of the garage, and he beelined it right for my dog. It had my dog by the muzzle and the mouth.
But their story isn't so open and shut.
You opened your door.
I did not open the door, Your Honor.
It's not what your husband said. Sit. Sit. You either didn't tell the truth or you made it up.
This is Judge Judy.
Gerald Olson is suing his neighbor, Arnie Mayo, for vet bills, grooming costs.
Order. All rise. This Case number 112 on the calendar, the matter of Olson versus Mayo.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Olson, you have 2 dogs, and you were walking your dogs, I assume, on a leash.
Yes, ma'am.
You passed the defendant's house during the course of that walk, so I assume
Yes,
you live in relatively close proximity to each other. And it is your claim that when you were walking your 2 dogs on a leash, Mr. Mayo's wife opened the door, let their dog out, and you say that Mr. Mayo's dog attacked yours. Mr. Mayo says that your dogs, despite the fact that they were on leash, were on his property, and his dog was in fact injured as well as one of your dogs. I think all 3 dogs were injured because you had mace with you and you sprayed the dogs with mace to try to separate them. So they all went to the vet, so you're suing and countersuing each other for the vet bills. Were you at home, Mr. Mayo, when this happened?
I was upstairs, Your Honor.
Just a second.
So
my
the
answer
wife
is... Shh.
I was at home.
The answer is yes. Did you witness the event?
No, Your Honor, but my wife witnessed the whole thing.
I want you just to answer me. The answer is no. Well, then you can change places with him.
Change place.
Perfect. This incident occurred on the 13th of June of last year?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell me why you waited a year to sue them?
Well, ma'am, in my jurisdiction of the County of San Diego, the San Diego Animal Control was losing the contract with Animal Control, so the interactions and reports went to the Humane Society of San Diego, and it took me 4.5 months to get the report from the Humane Society because the Animal Control people kicked it off to them.
The animal control people were not witnesses to the event.
No, but I reported it to them, Your Honor.
Well, what'd you need the report for to file the lawsuit?
I needed the report to substantiate my dog's injuries and what really happened in this event, Your Honor.
Well, may I see that report?
Yes, ma'am. There's Animal Control's report, and there's my written statement to Animal Control.
No. I don't want your written statement.
There you go.
Okay, so you each called. You called on the 13th, he called on the 15th.
Right.
Okay.
May I show you where this happened, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yeah, if I may, thank you. This is Tanaha Lane, the street that we both live on. This is walking my dogs up the street. When I got about right here, I saw the garage door open on their residence. 2 ladies walked out into the front yard, which is this grassy area here. And then when I kept walking with my dogs, I was walking in the middle of the street, Your Honor. I got around right parallel to both ladies.
Why were you walking in the middle of the street? The middle of the street is where the cars travel?
Not at that time of the day.
Why were you walking in the middle of the street?
Because when I walk down their side, they have a sidewalk in front of their house. There's no sidewalk on my side of the street.
Your Honor, you got a statement.
Shh, I don't want you to do that again.
Your Honor, I didn't want to walk past his side on the sidewalk again because his dog's always barking and growling and scratching at the gate when I walk by with my 2 dogs.
Okay, what kind of gate is there?
It's just a wooden gate that's just to the right of his front door of his residence. Anyway, when the 2 ladies were here, I was about even with them, and then out of the corner of my eye, I saw their dog run out of the garage, out the driveway, and he beelined it right for my dogs. So when I saw him out of the corner of my eye, I turned around and I squared up, and I got another wrap on both leashes. And I pulled my dogs back. The dog lunged right into my pit bull, and they were both on hind legs fighting for several seconds. And then after they got down on all fours, the plaintiff's dog is a Dalmatian. It had my dog by the muzzle and the mouth.
Got it.
I tried to kick the dog 2 times. The dog wouldn't let go. I looked over at the lady, this lady here, Josephine. I looked over her and the other lady, and I told them, come get your dog. Come help me get your dog. They just looked at me. They had they said nothing. They did nothing.
Okay.
Then I maced the dog in the face with my canister of mace.
Okay. You opened your door. You were going to work?
No, not me. I did not open the door, Your Honor.
Who opened the door?
My mom came for a visit that morning.
And?
And she opened the door. And the dog...
No, that's not what your husband said at all.
Yes.
It's not what your husband said. It said, my wife, Josephine, was going to work, and she opened the door. That's what your husband said. So I'm just telling you what he wrote. and he corrected it because it says was doing housework. And then he corrected it just now and said, my wife Josephine was going to work and she opened the front door to let out our Dalmatian Harry on our property. Well, that's what he wrote. So why don't you not let him take care of business if he doesn't know what he's talking about?
No, that's not what happened, Your Honor. This is what happened. I was getting ready to work at 8 o'clock. My mom came. She always visits in the morning to do yard work in the front. So she opened the door, the Dalmatian...
Front door?
The front door. She opened the front door. And the Dalmatian, two hands here on her shoulder. My mom...
Where were you when your mom opened the door?
I was right there.
In the garage.
Just a second.
In the garage.
Sit. Sit. You don't know what you're talking about. You wrote this thing, and according to your wife, you either didn't tell the truth or you made it up.
I was in the garage, Your Honor.
Understand this. You were in the garage.
Yes.
Was the garage door... Listen to me. The garage door was open.
Yes.
And you were in the garage getting into your car?
No.
What were you doing in the garage?
I was trying to warm up my car, and I stood...
Just a second. In June...
In June.
In June, you were warming up your car?
Yes, June 13,
What kind of a car do you have?
I have a Honda SUV.
You have a Honda? How old is your Honda?
A year old.
Let me understand what you want me to believe, Miss Mayo, okay? Which I don't. So let's understand. I don't. What he wrote was not true, and what you're telling me is not true. No, what you just told me is not true. That in the month of June, you got into a car in June and started it to warm it up.
Yes.
And then got out of the car and was standing in the garage.
Your Honor, I was not inside the car. I opened the door, I click. That's it. And then I went...
Start a car that way. You have to have your foot on the brake.
I did not start, Your Honor. All I did was turn on the engine.
I don't believe you because it sounds stupid.
She's getting ready to work, ma'am. That's why she warmed up the car. She started the car to go to work.
Speak again. I don't believe you. I want you to start with that premise. The story that you just told me about clicking your car and opening the door.
I did not open the door, Your Honor. My mom opened the door.
No, the garage. You opened.
I opened the garage door.
And the car door.
And the car door, and then I clicked the engine and I left. I left it like that.
Just a second. You clicked the engine, which doesn't start the car because you can't start the car without your foot on the brake. So you clicked it, so you're draining the battery. All you're doing, if you turn it on like that, all you're doing is draining the battery. Am I right about that, Bird?
Some cars.
Yeah, most.
Most.
Yeah, most cars. Any car that I ever owned, you couldn't go like this and start up the engine. You can go like this and click it if you're not in the car with your foot on the brake, and you can get the battery going.
Oh, can I say something else?
No! You can get the battery going, but you don't start the... So I don't believe that whole bull story that you're giving me. Now, your dog got out. I don't care if it was kissing your mother all over her face. I don't care if it was out of your control. The dog got out of your control without the leash because his dogs clearly didn't come into your house. His dogs didn't come into
His dog was in our property, Your Honor. He was walking the dog. His dog, his two dogs.
He was
one
walking
pit bull and one chow on the left hand. On the right hand, he has a baseball bat. His dog got out of control. This dog was walking him. He's not walking the dog. The dog was walking him. Got out of control, attacked the Dalmatian that was there beside my mom who was doing the yard work. And then I saw the pit bull.
Just a second. First you told me that the Dalmatian, your mother opened the front door. Your mother opened the front door and the Dalmatian put its paws on her shoulders, was kissing her. Somehow between then and the time this happened, your mother started doing the yard work.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And that's what
Can I see your vet bill, please?
Your Honor, that's what she does all the time.
Can I see your vet bill?
Your Honor, we have some. Your Honor, we have some.
No, I just want to see your vet bill.
Your Honor.
Were you there? Just a second. Were you there? My question. Were you?
I'm trying to answer.
Just say yes or no. I was there or I was not there.
I was there to witness another incident that happened with him.
Yes, Your Honor, right here.
And we actually have
just
video
a second.
evidence.
I didn't ask you about any other incident. I asked you about this. Listen, you have to understand. Anybody that owns a pit bull.
My dog is a beagle pit bull, Your Honor.
Right.
It's not a pure pit bull.
Good.
I see a Dalmatian attack a pit bull.
Listen.
I don't believe, Your Honor, a Dalmatian attack a pit bull.
Outside. Out. 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 I think that anybody that owns a pit bull is crazy, but that's your prerogative. I just want to ask you this, sir. In addition to the mace, did you also have a baseball bat?
No, ma'am. I bought the
just
bat
the mace.
later.
Shh. What?
I bought the bat the day after the incident because I was advised not to use mace anymore.
So now you walk your dogs with a baseball bat.
Your Honor, I walk my dogs one at a time, leash in my left hand, with the dog on my left, and a baseball bat in my right.
That sounds loving and warm, just like a pet should be.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you have evidence that his dog walks on your property?
Yes,
I'd love to see the video. Just give it to Officer Berg.
So I bought this surveillance camera after this happened, Your Honor.
I don't want you to speak again. You'll wind up with him.
All right.
And later today,
Your counterclaim is that she posted your arrest record on the internet.
Well, she posted what I was arrested for and what I was in jail for.
So my question is, was it true?
real people. Judge Judy.
Gerald Olson says neighbor Arnie Mayo owes for a dog attack. Arnie is countersuing for vet bills.
Listen, your dog was out of your control. You have to pay his vet bill.
Your Honor, we also have evidence on video.
Yes,
of
Your
him
Honor,
walking
we have
on our
evidence
property.
right here. That his dog walks on our
Multiple
property
times.
all the time.
I don't want you to speak. You have evidence that his dog walks on your property?
Yes, right,
I'd
right
love
here.
to, just a second, not that. I'd love to see the video. Just give it to Officer Berg.
So I bought this surveillance camera after this happened, Your Honor. Just letting you know.
I don't want you to speak again. You'll wind up with him.
All right.
He's in the street.
Yeah. He's in the street. No,
Right there, Your Honor.
Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's a dog going on a lawn for a second. That would be ridiculous. Is that what you want me to see? What was your vet bill, sir?
$212.45, Your Honor. Pit bull.
$212.45. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's an unfortunate incident that happened,
His dog was the one that attacks our dog.
and their dog got off leash.
It's a pit bull. It's a vicious dog.
Whenever your dog gets off leash, bad things can happen.
No, I want his dog to put to sleep.
Keep your dog on a leash, and it'll all come out to the happy ending, and everyone's happy.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Stevens versus Russell. Step forward.
Diane Stevens is suing her cousin, Donald Russell III, for a loan for bail. Donald is countersuing for defamation of character and slander.
Mr. Russell, you know what this case was about. It's about your cousin who says that you owe her for bail in an incident that evidently happened in March of last year. What were you arrested for?
It's kind of hard to say.
It's hard to say what you were arrested for?
Yeah, it was false allegations.
What happened with the case?
It was dismissed.
In what month?
It was dismissed in the month of August.
And you were bailed out sometime in March?
Correct.
And you had already been in jail for several weeks at
Correct.
the time you were bailed out. How much was your bail?
I believe it was $50,000 cash assured.
And was this your first time in jail?
No.
Tell me she found out that you were in jail.
She actually found out through my wife.
Is that how you found out he was in jail?
No.
How did you find out that he was in jail?
He called me collect, and his girlfriend, Lillian, when I called her and asked her about it, because that's not his wife, it's his girlfriend, Lillian.
Why don't you just answer my question?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did she post this before or after she asked you to please pay her back her money?
She posted it before.
Before she asked you back for your money?
Correct.
Oh, I don't believe that at all. Why in the world would this woman post your bail, but before she posts your bail, post your arrest record?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Diane Stevens is suing her cousin, Donald Russell III, for a loan for bail. Donald is countersuing for defamation of character and slander.
How did you find out that he was in jail?
He called me collect.
On what date?
It was May.
It was May?
Yes.
So you were arrested in March?
Correct.
And you were still in jail in May?
No.
When did you get out of jail?
I was released from jail March 25th. This is the...
So you were in jail March, April, and a good part of May.
Yes.
Do you remember calling Miss Stevens from jail?
Yes.
Do you remember the conversation that you had with Miss Stevens when you called her from jail?
No, I do not.
Do you?
Yes.
So you can tell me what the conversation was.
The conversation was that he kept getting sick in jail, and he done had...
Did he tell you what kind of sick?
That he have seizures, and that he done had a couple seizures. They won't give him his medicine.
You have seizures, Mr. Russell?
Yes, I do.
Now, she wouldn't know that unless you told her that you had been sick in jail. Continue.
And he says, "Cuz I really need to get out." He said, "I've been talking to Lily and Donna, with Donna's his sister, Lily's his girlfriend, and I told them to sell everything." He said, "I need you to help me get out of here." He said, "As soon as I get out, cuz I promise you, I will have every dime to you within a month." Well,
did you know what kind of work Mr. Russell did?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work did he do before he was
arrested? He do
arrested?
lawn care.
For himself or for somebody else?
For a company.
How much did you put down on his bail?
$3,000.
How much did he pay you back?
$195.
Okay. You have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is that she posted your arrest record on the internet.
Correct.
Is it a lie?
Correct.
Tell me.
Well, according to law, you are innocent until proven guilty.
No. She didn't say she posted that you were convicted. You said she posted your arrest record.
Well, she posted what I was arrested for and what I was in jail for.
So my question is, was it true?
No, what I was arrested for, the allegations was not true.
I didn't ask you whether the allegations were true. Is it true? You didn't so far tell. Can I see that, please? I know it was very hard for you to tell, but that's your counterclaim. If you file a counterclaim that she slandered you, and his. Is this document what you're talking about?
Correct.
She's allowed to publish that.
She also posted, I scratched it out because I didn't want it on TV, but the abbreviation for the charge.
What abbreviation for the charge? I don't... Sir, if you can't discuss it here, then I can't resolve this issue.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by...
Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Right now, what she posted was a document, right? There is nothing that prevents you to please pay her back her money.
She posted it before.
Before she asked you back for your money?
Correct.
Oh, I don't believe that at all. Why in the world would this woman post your bail, but before she posts your bail, post your arrest record?
No.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, judgment for the plaintiff, the amount of $28.05. We're finished. Thank you very much. Your counterclaim's dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
A mom dumps her kids at a daycare.
You left your children with Miss Hunsicker for how long?
About 6 months. She held them from me, Your Honor.
Judge Judy.
The plaintiff didn't even pay $3,000 to get me out.
He's just a complete liar.
She only paid $2,500, and I got the evidence to prove it.
First of all, he said he didn't know who was going to bail him out.
I didn't until the sheriffs called me for release.
Who else in the family got money? Really?
They just told me, Mr. Russell, pack your things, you're out of here.
And then he called me every day, almost collect.
Pretty much it's a headache,
crying and begging to get out of jail.
Stalking and harassing me.
I didn't harass him.
At least that part will be done, and
I should have left his butt in jail.
And